What's up, everybody? This is the Gridiron Gilly Show. I'm the host, Gridiron Gilly. This show is for anybody who's ever worn pads or worn out the remote watching football. You don't have to play the game, just have to love the game. And hope that's why you're here. I'm a little under the weather. It's a little cold weather outside. It's got my throat a little sore, but we're going to manage. In this episode, I'm going to quickly go over some games that took place last week. Week 10 college football. Several upsets took place. And this week I'm going to break down 8 college football games for week 11. I usually do 10, but I'm doing 8 this week because honestly, I don't think it looks like there's a lot of good games on the schedule, but I don't think they will be. So I just took 8. And a few of them you might disagree with, but let's recap real quick. Let's look at the games from last week that I broke down. I remember what I said, and we'll see what happened. The first game was Vanderbilt at Texas. I said Vanderbilt would probably win that. They didn't. Texas won. Navy at North Texas. I took North Texas. North Texas won. Georgia at Florida. I said Florida would keep it close, probably within 1 point. Georgia won, but I think it was by like 4. So Florida did keep it close. Just not as close as I thought. Texas Tech at Kansas State. Texas Tech won that. Virginia at Cal. I think I took Cal, but Virginia won. I'm not sure who I took. I don't think Virginia's going to win the ACC. South Carolina, Ole Miss. I took Ole Miss. Ole Miss won. Georgia Tech, NC State. Took Georgia Tech, obviously, but NC State won. Oklahoma at Tennessee. I took Tennessee. They lost. USC at Nebraska. I took USC. They won. Should have lost, though. And then Cincinnati, Utah. I took Cincinnati plus the points. And they did not cover. Utah whipped them very, very good. I was surprised. I did not expect that. I knew Utah was good, but I didn't think Cincinnati would play that terrible. And I don't know what the box score said. I just know what the score was at the end of the game. Completely one-sided. But that was last week. Let's talk about this week. Because we have this game I'm about to break down comes on in a few hours. So I better get my Shay together tay. UTSA at USF. Texas San Antonio at South Florida. They play tonight. San Antonio's offense, 58th in yards per game, 79th passing, 43rd rushing, 37th in points. Okay. Her defense, bottom half in every category. And then South Florida's offense, 8th in yards per game, 35th in passing, 13th in rushing, 7th in points. And their defense, their best stat would be they're 113. They give up 113 rush yards a game, which is 27th in the country. So South Florida's obviously the favorite here. They're playing in Florida. UTSA just came off a good win, though. A good win at their place against Tulane this past week. I think, South Florida, Memphis, Tulane, those teams right there they're going to be the G5. One of those teams, going to be the G5 candidate there for the college football playoff. I think it's wide open there between those three. Anybody can get it of those three. Maybe even some other teams. I don't know. I just know those teams are at the top, in my opinion. And UTSA just took out Tulane pretty easily last week. Can UTSA do a twofer and take out South Florida as well? They could, but I don't see it happening. I'm going to take South Florida to win this one. I've got everything written down here. I don't want to ramble too much, but UTSA does have a good run game. They do have a good run game. Like I said, they're 43rd in the country, which would be in the top half. But I have seen them play a few games this year, and they can run the ball well. And what I saw last week was them be able to throw the football against the South Florida or the Tulane defense. I'm going to talk about Tulane 2 games from now. We'll see what their defense does. But yeah, I have written down here. I said South Florida is better equipped. Probably going to be the G5 representative there for the Big 12. They have the 13th rushing offense and the 27th rush defense. Is that correct? Yeah, 27th ranked rush defense. And then UTSA's best category on offense is the run game. So I like to see how that'll play out. Can South Florida stop UTSA's run? And if they stop the run, will UTSA be able to utilize the pass? Will they be able to keep it close? The spread on this is 14. South Florida minus 14. The total 68.5. Money line South Florida minus 625. UTSA plus 455. UTSA comes into this one 4-4. South Florida 6-2, losing to Miami and losing to Memphis a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna take South Florida on this one. I don't know if they cover. That's a 14. That's a big number to me. If it was like 5 or 6, I might would take that. But I'll take South Florida money line. And these teams are accustomed to score a lot of points. They do score a lot of points, but sometimes whenever I pick the points, they don't. So I'm not going to go with that. I'm just going to go with South Florida money line. I feel like that's a safe bet. I feel like I can win some dinero that way, and hopefully I do. We're going to have to see. Next game, take a gander at it. I think it's going to be Northwestern USC. Yes, Northwestern USC. Northwestern at number 20 USC. Why am I talking about this one? You might be wondering that. My 2 or 3 people who watch this, you might be wondering why I'm talking about Northwestern at USC. Because who the hell is Northwestern? Where's Northwestern even at? I didn't know. I thought it was in Indiana. It says it's in Illinois. I'll tell you what, though. I talked about these guys a few weeks ago when they played Nebraska. And I said Nebraska would beat these guys pretty solid. They only beat them by 7. Defensive game. Northwestern has a good defense. Let's talk about it real quick, okay? Northwestern, offensively, they're 30th in rushing, and defensively, they're 13th in passing. USC's offense is 10th in passing, 20th in rushing. Their defense is 61st in rushing. So what Northwestern does well is run the football. They can't throw the football. Don't expect them to win this game by throwing the football. But they can run the football pretty good. That's what Northwestern likes to do, is run the football. A few teams I'm going to talk about like to run the football, okay? But Northwestern specifically likes to run the football. They're good at it this year. 30th in rushing. South California, USC, their defense is 61st in rushing. So you got the 30th ranked rushing offense, 61st ranked rushing defense. USC should have lost to Nebraska last week. Maybe that kind of opened their eyes because they're 20. If they lost that game, they wouldn't even be ranked. Maybe that'll open their eyes up. I've been hearing some rumors about Lincoln Riley. Maybe that could be some what you call it, a distraction in the locker room. I'm not sure. What I do know is that I took Northwestern a couple weeks ago to lose pretty solid against Nebraska, and they didn't. They played a close game with them. And then here this past week, Nebraska should have beat USC. Probably would have if their QB wouldn't have got hurt. So in this one, I'm still not going to take Northwestern to win, but I'm dang sure not going to take USC, whatever the spread is on it. What is the spread? 14? Yeah, I'm not going to take that. This might be one of those USC money lines. Northwestern's 5-3, and USC is 6-2. Here's another thing too. I think Northwestern will be able to run the football, because if they don't, they'll lose this game by probably 30. So they have to run the football, and I think they will. USC's offense, 10th in passing, 20th in rushing. What does USC do well? Throw the football. They got a good quarterback, top-ranked quarterback in the country, and then he's got a plethora of wide receivers there who can catch the football. And they actually have a good run game too. Like I said, that the run game's 20th in the country. But they're throwing for 302 a game, and then Northwestern's only giving up 165 through the air a game, 13th. So that'll be an interesting matchup too. I think Northwestern keeps it close, even though they're on the road, a hostile environment. I think Northwestern keeps it close, and definitely going to be interesting. Not going to ramble too much. Here's another stat for you. Northwestern third down defense, 106th in the country. USC's third down offense, 11th in the country. Okay, so that matters. On third down, Northwestern likes to give up third downs. On third down, USC likes to convert. So that'll be a contributing factor to this game. I'm going to take USC money line, though, or I might take Northwestern plus the 14. Who knows? Next game, Tulane at Memphis. Both these games are going to be Friday night, by the way. Northwestern USC and Tulane at 22 Memphis are Friday night. Tulane 6-2, Memphis 8-1. Memphis spreads -6 for Memphis. Total 55.5. Memphis money line -230. Tulane plus 190. Tulane, they got a few guys over there who can make some plays. They got a head coach who's probably going to go be a head coach at a better school next year. Kudos to him. He deserves it. Been keeping up with those guys since the Willie Fritz days. Tulane's a pretty solid program, but Memphis is too. I remember watching Memphis play some meaningful football here 6 or 7 years ago, and it seems like they've been pretty consistent ever since then. Preseason, there was a lot of hype around Memphis too. The NIL structure there, they had a lot of hype going into the season, and so far they panned out. So, like I said a while ago, Tulane, Memphis, South Florida. Those are my three teams, G5. Let's see what I wrote down here for this game, because that matters. Tulane's offense, I tried to not ramble so much. I can write down this much stuff and give you all the facts and tell you what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, it's college football. I can present you with all the facts and create a hypothesis of why this team is going to win by this margin, and then that team will lose by 60. Okay, that's just the nature of the beast. So I decided not to ramble so much and just give you the facts, and you do with it what you will. Tulane at Memphis. Tulane's offense, 50th in rushing offense. Their defense is 89th in rushing. Tulane runs football. They stop the run. That's their two best feats. Memphis, 26th in rushing, and their defense is 44th in rushing. So Memphis likes to run the football. They like to stop the run. Both these teams run and stop the run. Memphis does it significantly better, though. Tulane's red zone defense is 82nd. Memphis red zone offense is 4th. To get down in the red zone, Memphis is going to punch it in. Against Tulane, probably really going to punch it in. Tulane gave up a lot of points last week to UTSA. In my opinion, Memphis is a better team. Memphis has some guys too. What's their quarterback? Brendan Lewis. Yeah, he's a dual threat. He can run the football. He can kill the football. A couple guys out there, a couple of running backs there, and then receivers who can catch the ball. And their defense, they got some guys that are pretty nasty and get after you on the defensive side of the ball. A couple linebackers and some DBs. I'll name them real quick. Sam Broomfield, Drew Watts, DeMarco Ward, Kamari Wilson. I'm not going to bore you with any of their stats or anything like that. You can go check them out, though. There's some real ball players there in the AAC. But, yeah, I have it written down right here. I said Memphis 32-27. That's what I'm taking. So if I'm taking Memphis 32-27, that's Tulane plus 6. Or that's 32, 42, 52, 62. That's the over. That's over 55.5. So it's whatever you want to do. You can go Memphis or Tulane plus 6, over 55.5, or just Memphis money line. You got a variety of things you can do there. Me personally, I think I would take the points on that one. I'll take over 55.5. That's my third game. Let's go to the fourth one. Ooh, I like this one. I'm a hoe for an upset in college football. I love a good upset. This past week, I thought NC State could upset Georgia Tech, but I was like, I don't think NC State will be the team to do it. I think somebody later on will do it. It came at the right spot, though. Maybe it'll open their eyes up a little bit and let them know that they need to play defense. Haynes King just can't be a one-man show. Win some games, but to win a championship, you got to play defense. Number 8, BYU at number 9, Texas Tech. Texas Tech is favored by 10. Doesn't matter that BYU is the higher ranked team but picked to lose by 10 or more points. If Texas Tech, who's ranked 9 and BYU's ranked 8, if Texas Tech wins this game, even though they're favored, do they rush the field? Pretty interesting here. Game day's here. Fall Don't Lie tour's there. Gridiron Gilly, he won't be there. He'll be in Houston at a Friendsgiving. Yeah. I'm tickled to death about that. But BYU is 8-0. Texas Tech's 8-1. Texas Tech minus 10, total 52.5. Texas Tech moneyline minus 395. BYU plus 310. BYU, another team like I talked about, Northwestern. BYU is going to run the football. They will establish the run. Only problem is the team they're playing is number 1 in run defense. They stop the run pretty easily. Let's take a gander at it. BYU's 15th in rushing offense, so they are going to run the football. Their defense is 28th against the pass. So a team like Texas Tech, who throws the football well, Texas Tech's 14th in the passing offense versus Texas Tech's 14th passing offense, 14th ranked pass offense is going to play BYU's 28th ranked pass defense. So BYU could cause some chaos there. They're plus 2 or something in turnover margin. So BYU has played a lot of close games. They're undefeated. They played a lot of close games, but they're undefeated. But they've caused the teams that they beat to turn the ball over. And even games that they've won by a margin, they caused the team to turn the ball over, and they capitalize on the turnovers. So here, you've got Texas Tech. If they turn the ball over, you may be looking at BYU keeping it close, possibly winning. Because I think BYU, they might be the higher ranked team. But if BYU wins this game, it's an upset. Okay. I've been keeping up with BYU for a little while. I know about BYU. I know who their coach is and what kind of football they play, their identity, the brand of football they like to play. Here's the deal, though. Texas Tech's number 1 in rush defense. They only give up, I don't even know how many yards. I think I wrote it down somewhere, but I may not have my paper with me. I got all these papers I write this stuff down on. Here, I'll just tell you this. BYU's 15th in rushing offense. Their defense is 28th in pass defense, and then they're 43rd in rushing defense. So, all in the top half categories, they're better at stopping the pass, but they're 43rd in stopping the run, so they can do that too. And that's something Texas Tech really does well, both. Texas Tech's offense is 14th in passing, 24th in rushing, and their defense is first against the run, only giving up 74 yards a game. So pretty much what this means, in my opinion, is that BYU can't run the football, same as Northwestern, and it's going to be the same with the Iowa game that I'll talk about here in a minute. If these teams cannot run the football, they don't have an opportunity to win the game. They don't have an opportunity to keep it close. And I know who BYU's played, and I know who Texas Tech has played. Here's the deal. Texas Tech does have the number 1 ranked defense in the country against the run. But I think BYU will be able to run the football. I told you I'm a sucker for an upset. Last week, that Cincinnati and Utah game, Utah was minus 10 on the spread, and I thought that was ridiculously high. I said, Cincinnati's going to keep it close. They may even win. It wasn't. And whenever I look at this one, Texas Tech minus 10, it's got me thinking the same thing. But what if the outcome's the same as last week? What if I'm like, BYU may lose this game, but they'll lose by, less than 10 points, and they get blown out in Lubbock. It could happen. But anything could happen. This is college football. This is a Saturday. This is an environment where anything can happen. So, honestly, this one's got me really nervous. This game I'm more nervous about than any game this week. And my Texas A&M Fighting Aggies are playing Missouri. And that's something to be concerned about. But if I had to pick one of these three, let me talk about this real quick. My bad. BYU is 20th in red zone offense. And I said both have top 20 red zone defenses. So both of these teams have top 20 red zone defenses, and BYU's 20th in red zone offense. Hence why one's 8-0 and the other one's 8-1. One's number 8 in the country, one's number 9 in the country. The red zone matters. What you do in the red zone matters. If you can get 3 points, if you can get 7 points, if you try to convert a fourth down and you turn it over, that matters. So when you look at all this, Gridiron Gilly is going to take. He's going to do the same thing he did last week, and if it doesn't pan out this week, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. Fool me 3 times, it ain't going to happen. I was going to finish the J. Cole lyric, but it ain't going to happen. I'm taking BYU plus 10 because I think they could pull the upset at Texas Tech, but if not, they at least keep it close. That defense may not be as good as Texas Tech is, but I think they have the opportunity to create chaos, cause some turnovers, or whether it be fumble, whether it be interception, maybe a muff punt somewhere, they'll create a turnover, and BYU has a good enough defense to do that. And I think their offense, they can establish a run game, and they can get points when needed. But it's going to be low scoring, I feel like. We know Texas Tech can score, but I think it's going to be low scoring. And here's the deal. Here's the real kicker on that one. Let me go back to it because I turned the page too soon. I don't forget what I was going to say, but it was something important. I was about to say something really important about this game, but I don't forget what it was. But, I know what I was going to say. I was going to say this. Texas Tech, the reason I had them picked as a team that would be in the Big 12 championship in the preseason, I said that. And the reason they've had the success they have, it comes down to the portal. It comes down to the NIL, the money that that oil money that you're putting out to get guys to come there. That matters. Whenever you can surround your atmosphere and your structure your team with players, great players, good players who come there for the dinero and they play well, and you're the 9th ranked team in the country. Hey, that's good. That matters. But I can tell you this: those guys at BYU, those guys are there because they want to be, not because of the. I'm sure that they might be getting some dinero, but they're not there because of the dinero. They're there because they want to be. Okay, so you're looking at a built versus bought situation, and I like that for BYU. I like that they could go out here and they can make something happen. They could prove who they really are and show who they really are. Because I know what they had last year. I saw what they had last year. That ship kind of sailed at the end of the year. But they're in the same situation this year. They just got to correct some things, and they got a shot. They got a real shot. Some folks think that this will be the Big 12 championship game. I don't know. We'll see. Number 3, Texas A&M at Missouri at 19. Missouri. Texas A&M -7. Total 49.5. Texas A&M money line -228, 278. Missouri plus 225. A&M's 8-0. Missouri 6-2. Bo Pribula, he's out for the year. Bad injury. They got a quarterback now. He's a freshman. What's his dude's name? Matt Zollers. 213 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. So, I mean, we'll see what he's made of. This is a good A&M defense that he's going to be playing against this week. That Vandy defense was good, though, and that was a very good game. That Missouri and Vandy game, that was an emotional game, a defensive game. Somebody had to win it, and Vandy happened to be on the winning side that morning. Missouri, though, I had them picked to win that game because Missouri is actually a very good team. You may not know it. 6-2, yeah, they're good, but you may not know really how good they are. Missouri, they could win every conference in the country other than the SEC because I think they're already out of it. I don't think they're out of the playoff, but they're out of the conference championship game. But let's take a gander at it, okay? What do both teams do well? Well, without looking at my paper here, I think what Texas A&M does well is a variety of things. I look at their season, I look at their 8-0, and I look at their wins. They've played close games with teams that they should have beat early in the year. They let UTSA run all over them. They go into South Bend and win that game by a prayer against Notre Dame. Play Florida, play Auburn, Mississippi State, win all those games. A couple of them they could have lost. The Auburn game, they had an opportunity to lose it there at the end. They almost gave it away, but they fought. They showed resiliency, and that matters. That matters to me. So, yeah, they find ways to win, and that's why they're 8-0. Their defense plays exceptionally well. You can make the argument, well, Texas A&M hadn't had to play Georgia or Ole Miss or Alabama. That's why they're undefeated. Well, they're still playing quality SEC football. And, I mean, they're not playing close games with LSU, with Florida, Mississippi State, who everybody else is. I mean, Georgia just barely beat Florida this past week. So, and then they play good defense. They play pretty good defense. They do get some points scored on them, but it doesn't matter because A&M is undefeated and they can score more points than you. They can win however they need to. Missouri, though, where's my paper right here? Missouri's defense is better. A&M is 23rd in rushing offense, 34th in passing offense. Their defense is 33rd against the run. Missouri's offense is 10th in rushing. So, statistically, Missouri is running the ball for about 35 more yards. Their defense is 7th against the pass and 11th against the run. So, across the board, Missouri's run game is better, and their defensive pass defense and run defense is better than A&M's. So what does A&M do better than Missouri? Statistically, third down defense for Missouri is 5th. So Missouri don't let you convert a lot of third down. But Texas A&M's third down defense is 1st. So statistically, that's what A&M does better. Missouri's playing at home, but they have a backup quarterback. We'll see what he's made of. He's playing his first start as a collegiate athlete, I believe. Don't quote me on that. He may have started somewhere else during the year. But his first start, he's playing Texas A&M. He was the number 3 team in the country. I mean, this is an opportunity to go out there and show what you're made of, pull the upset. Hey, you're a legend because you have a legitimate shot at being in a college football playoff. You win this game. You go from the 22nd ranked Missouri. Are they 22nd or are they 19? I put 19 on here, but hell, I think they're 22nd. I don't know. I wrote this down like last week. Either way, though, doesn't matter. This kid's got an opportunity to do something here. Because if Missouri wins this game, if they pull the upset, no matter if they win this game by 1 point, they're going to storm the field. They're going to celebrate. They're going to do all that crazy stuff. Going to get hit with a hefty fine. And then, of course, They got to win out. But if they win out, they'll be in the college football playoff. Mark my words. A&M, they lose this game. They got a couple more games. They'll play Texas in Austin. Got to win that one. But even if you lose it, you should still be in the college football playoff. I think even though the Big Ten has won the last couple of national championships, I think the Southeastern Conference, I think it just speaks for itself. 12 teams get in, right? Is it 12 or 16? I know last year was 12. Don't matter. I think you should have a, like, we're gonna let 4 or 5 SEC schools in. We're gonna let 3 Big Ten schools in, just because. Because in actuality, who's a middle of the pack SEC school? Let's go with let's just take Florida right now. Let's take Florida or Mississippi State, for instance. I think you take either one of those schools. You play Louisville, Virginia, Georgia Tech. You win that conference. You play Texas Tech, BYU. Probably win that conference, or at least have an opportunity to. So when you're looking at middle of the pack Southeastern Conference teams, they can win. Probably wouldn't win the Big Ten, but that's what I'm saying. The college football playoff should be heavy SEC, heavy Big Ten, and then throw in an ACC school, throw in 1 or 2 Big 12 schools, and then your G5. That's how I think it should be, at least for this year. And then you'll just have to see what year by year how it goes. Next year, if I don't know, Cincinnati, if the Bearcats go 11-1, and then BYU goes 11-1, and Texas Tech goes 11-1, you might throw in 3 of them, okay? And then you got maybe Baylor 10-2, but beat 2 of those schools that are 11-1. Might throw them in there too. It's just a year by year, case by case basis. But I say all that to say, I'm going to take Texas A&M money line. I'm taking Texas A&M money line. I ain't bet against them all year. I am really worried about this game because of Missouri's run game. Missouri's defense is better on paper. They're playing at home. They're obviously going to be hyped up and excited, trying to pull the upset. I think A&M's going to have some adversity to face, but I think they can handle it. I think they've already faced adversity this year in that Notre Dame game. So I like the caliber of athletes A&M has on the offensive side of the ball, and I think this quarterback for Missouri, I mean, he can go out here and he can sling it. He can go out here and he could, wet the bed. It just depends. And I think A&M's defense is going to get after them, cause some confusion, create some turnovers, and I'm just going to take A&M money line. I don't know about the spread. I don't know about the points. I'll just take A&M money line. That's a safe one. Or if I'm really concerned about it, I'll have to check the spread because it probably done changed. But maybe Missouri plus whatever. Next game, I'm going to hurry up now. Oregon at number 6, Oregon at Iowa. Oregon minus 5.5, total 43.5. Oregon minus 218 money line. Iowa plus 180. Yeah, so Oregon's not ranked number 6. It says they're ranked number 9. Iowa number 20. So like I said, I wrote these down like several days ago. Oregon's offense is 9th rushing, their defense is 1st in pass defense, 31st in rushing. Well, the good news is you ain't got to worry about the pass this Saturday because they're playing the Iowa Hawkeyes. They're not going to throw the football. And the weather's supposed to be really bad. So Iowa's offense is 36th in rushing. They're probably 125th in passing. Their defense is 5th in passing. Their defense is 10th in rushing. So their defense is really good. Their defense is why they're in the spot they're in. They're 6-2. They took Indiana down to the wire. Only lost that game by 5. Held Indiana to 20 points. We know what Oregon did with Indiana and Autzen. So, and these teams have played a few teams already the same. They both played Penn State. They both played Indiana. They both played Wisconsin. Okay. And Iowa dismantled Wisconsin. I think everybody has, though, this year. But let's look at this because this is all that matters. Just remember, the weather's going to be bad. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be cold. Oregon's on the road. Oregon dropped 3 spots to 9 in the country. Only lost 1 game. And the team you lost to is blowing everybody out by 40 plus every single Saturday. But this is that spot for Oregon where I think their back's against the wall. They're favored here, -5.5, total 43.5. Because Iowa, they have low scoring games. That's just what they do. They either beat you by 30, or they lose 20-18, or they beat you 21-20. Just depends. But Iowa's 36th rushing offense versus Oregon's 31st rushing defense. Oregon's 9th ranked rushing offense versus Iowa's 10th ranked rushing defense. Did I write that down on here? Yeah, the 9th ranked rushing offense. I'm a sucker for an upset. I think I said I was going to take BYU plus the 10 points. On this one, I'm probably going to take, I'm not sure if the spread's changed already, but here I have it written down as 5.5. I'll probably take Iowa plus 5.5 because I just think the odds are in their favor. Oregon could come out there and sling it in the rain. Okay, DeCorian Moore, he's an exceptional athlete, Texas boy, Duncanville, from the DFW area where the best football is played in the state. He might go out there and put some numbers up. But I just think this Iowa, their defense, man, 5th, and I think 5th ranked pass defense, 10th ranked rush, or vice versa. I think that's their identity. Play good defense, run the football on offense, keep the other team's offense off the field, and have a low-scoring game. And I think it's going to be sloppy. It's going to be wet. It's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy. I would like to say Iowa money line just because I know I'd win more money that way if it does happen. But the safe thing is the Iowa plus the points. The safe thing is probably Oregon money line, honestly. But I don't know. I'm going to have to think on that one. But I'll probably take Iowa plus the points. May do an alt spread and do like maybe Iowa plus 9.5. Maybe that one feels safer. Oh well, next game. Duke at UConn. Duke's 5-3, UConn 6-3, Duke's -8.5. Total 65.5. Moneyline Duke -340, UConn plus 270. You say gridiron kill. Why are you talking about basketball right now? I'm not talking about basketball. I'm talking about football. You say you're talking about Duke and you're talking about UConn. Those are basketball schools. It is basketball season now, but I want to talk about this team because Duke, I like Duke. I like Darian Mensah. He's a great quarterback. He's got over 2,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, 2 picks. Pretty good run game, good receivers. Their defense, head coach, defensive-minded guy. They just, I don't know. It's Duke. Like, I think you take those guys and you put them at Kansas State, and you're looking at a legit contender in the Big 12. But you're in the ACC where nobody really knows how to play football this year. And it's anybody's game, anybody's ball game. And then you got UConn. I don't know nothing about UConn. until this past week. Whenever I saw this game, I said, UConn 6-3. Let me see what they do. I clicked on it. I read a little bit about them, and I was like, looked at who they played. Nobody really impressive, but still, they have played 9 games. And let me tell you, their quarterback. The quarterback's name is Joe. I'm not going to say his last name because I don't know how to pronounce it. But he's has thrown for over 2,500 yards, and he's thrown 22 touchdowns. Darian Mensah's thrown 21. He's thrown 22 touchdowns. No picks. So I don't know if that means he's not taking risks or if he's just protecting the football. I don't know. But to be 6-3 and not have any picks, I like that. I like that about the QB Joe there. Running back, he's got 815 yards, 9 touchdowns. A couple linebackers there. Cornerback, he's got 4 interceptions there. Cam Chadwick. I'm not going to talk too much about this one. I'm just going to let you know. Duke's got the 4th ranked passing offense in the country and the 52nd ranked run defense in the country. UConn is 12th ranked pass offense, so both teams can throw the football exceptionally well, and the 66th ranked pass defense. UConn's red zone offense is 21st. Duke's red zone defense is 125th. That means if UConn gets down there in the red zone, they're probably going to score. Probably going to score 7. At least 6. And then Duke's going to let them do it because they're 125th. Now, the caliber of teams that they played, I'm not sure on. I'm sure Duke has played far better competition than what UConn has. I know Duke played Illinois earlier in the year. I'm sure UConn's best opponent they played is one of those losses there on their schedule. But I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But I think UConn will be able to throw the football against Duke. I think Duke will be able to throw the football against UConn. I don't know nothing about UConn, like I said, other than what I see. I haven't seen them play. I haven't seen not one single highlight, not one single play they've ran all year long. I'm just going off of what I saw and what I wrote down. Well, Duke has the 4th ranked passing offense. UConn has the 66th ranked pass defense. I think Duke is probably just a better team in general. I think Duke wins this game just because I'm not going to take the spread. I'll take Duke money line because their passing game. I like their passing game a lot. And, UConn, Mr. Joe here, he might come out there and throw 3 or 4 touchdowns, just be slinging it, looking like a Heisman candidate who's not even in the conversation. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take Duke. But it'd be cool to see UConn win. 5-3 versus 6-3. That's worth storming the field over. Last game, we got LSU at number 4, Alabama. LSU's 50th ranked passing offense, 31st. Their defense is 31st in passing, 51st in rush. Bama's offense is 15th in passing. Their defense is 12th in passing. 22nd in rush, I think, or 72nd. I don't know. I can't read my own handwriting. It's either 22nd or 72nd. It's all I'm going to say about this game, and I'm about to wrap it up, okay? I have written down here 7 words. Those words are LSU will win or not score a touchdown. That's what I have written down. You can go look at their numbers, their stats, what they do on 3rd down, what they do in the red zone, blah, 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 blah. You can go look at all that if you want to. I'm just letting you know, Saturday when this game comes on, Saturday night, LSU will win this game and upset Alabama, or they won't even score a touchdown. What that means is LSU is going to win this game by any means necessary, or Alabama will win this game 38-9 or something. But I do not think LSU is going to win this game close. I mean, my bad. I don't think Alabama's going to win this game close. I think Alabama's going to win this game by a large margin. What's the safe thing to do? Let's check out the odds. I need to look at the odds. Alabama's minus 10.5. Total 49.5. Money line Alabama minus 410. LSU plus 320. This might be one of those ones where you would take the Alabama minus 10.5 because it sounds like a safe bet, and it could be. I think you'd be a fool not to take Alabama, at least Alabama money line, just because of the situation LSU's in. But coming off the bye, coming off the fired head coach, you're not sure what they're capable of. They might have a whole new attitude, a new atmosphere there in Baton Rouge. We just gonna have to see. Am I gonna take LSU to pull the upset? No, I'm gonna take Alabama money line, but they could pull it, and it'd be cool to see. It'd be cool to see. But I'm gonna take Alabama money line, and that's all there is to it. That's the bottom line because Gridiron Gilly said so. I'm gonna try to come back on here tomorrow and talk about some other things, some Heisman talk, maybe college football playoff talk. I'm not sure. I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna ramble though a little bit tomorrow, and a lot shorter scale. We're gonna see. Anyways, I'm out of here. Y'all take care.